to 3 left and 3 right narrow exit, 20. 2 right jump cut into 6 left, 20. Line, 20. Open hairpin right, 20. 6 right, 50. 5 right into 4 left and 5 right, 50. Turn, tight square right after 3 and square left, 20.
Hi, I'm Jonathan Green. Welcome to Inside Rally, the series where I try to become a rally driver. Now, I've already looked at rear-wheel driving Ford Escorts, and we've also looked at the front-wheel driving Nissan Micra. But now it's the big daddy. That's right, 250 horsepower, 4-wheel drive Subaru Impreza. Now, I'm going to try to combine what I've learned in the last 2 lessons into learning to get to grips with a big daddy. Now, I've been told that this awesome car is as near to a world rally car as you can get. I've driven the road-going version and that really blew me away, so I'm really looking forward to this. Now it's time for the all-important driver briefing, and this is where we're going to get taught about this amazing 4-wheel drive Subaru Impreza. Can't believe how excited I am. I've seen it, I've been in one with Colin McRae and I've sat there in the passenger seat, but I'm now going to get to drive one. And half of me is really excited because it's a chance of a lifetime. The other is, how do I do this? Let's find out. With me on the course today is famous motorcyclist Derek Edmondson, the first British finisher in the recent 2003 Paris-Dakar. Also Lee Manning, a property developer who gets married in 6 weeks in Mexico. This was a present from his wife and parents. Also there's Sam Ward. He's the MD of a website design company and has never done anything like this before.
Right, morning everybody. Welcome to Gwyn Rally School. What we're going to be doing today is, with the Subaru Impreza, is teaching you how to drive 4-wheel drive car as quickly as possible, as sideways as possible, but hopefully with a bit more control than Jonathan's shown over the last couple of days, with a bit of luck. So we're going to start with Jonathan again. You always get the short straw.
Yep.
Then Derek, then Lee and Sam. Save the best till last, they usually say.
Now, last week on the show we drove front-wheel drive cars, and I found that a little bit easier, but I'm sure all of us would, because that's the sort of cars we drive on the road, and it just feels more natural that the drive is going forward in the way you're facing. Now, Pete, this week we've got 4-wheel drive Subaru, the famous Impreza, a real monster. Now, how much different will 4-wheel drive be?
Probably be a little bit more similar to front-wheel drive, but then you still got the aspect of oversteer as well as understeer.
Right, well, I've now had the briefing and now it's time to go out for what's called a demo lap with Pete. Now, from the other courses, I've found that this is actually probably the most important part of the day after the briefing. The briefing, I listened a little bit more this time, and the idea is he's going to take us around for 2 laps and explain what we've got to do, which is easier said than done. But intense listening on this part, because in a few minutes' time, I've got to try and repeat what he does for real. Sounds good in theory.
And all of this you'll just be doing with the power, just working the power on and off and right. And as we come through the left, onto the power again, then just easing the power a little here, then right, left and right, accelerate hard, turn left, right, first, and around you go. Nice and smooth.
Right, well, I've just been out for my demo lap with Peter, and going into this I was really kind of confident. I've done the rear wheel driving and the front wheel driving, and I was sort of thinking, right, World Rally, Impreza and all the rest of it. But now I've gone back to square one. I've got very nervous. It's a completely different animal and a completely different track, a lot tighter, a lot harder, a lot more use of gears and acceleration and braking, and my head's full of it at all the moment. So I've now got back to being nervous as I was in day one. So here goes. Right, this is it. I'm going to drive a World Rally car for 3 laps, I hope. I've got to avoid the trees, which are tyres, of course, and get it all right. I'm a little bit worried about the gearbox and a little bit worried about the power of this thing, because it is completely different, and of course it's the first time I've ever driven a 4-wheel drive rally car. So,
now braking, a little bit of power, and right, a little bit of power, now braking, right, left, so a little bit more of a flick, and come off the foot brake when you pull the handbrake. You're coming in, pulling the handbrake on far too early. you haven't got enough speed to go into the hairpin, so it's not coming round far enough. So then you've got to go deeper into the corner. So if that's your tyre there, get it level with you at the moment, because we're not carrying enough speed to do it early.
I guess
We've got to go a little bit further.
In your demo laps, and it looked to just slide around more. And I guess I'm frightened of it now. Yeah, okay, right. Well, I've done my 2 laps, well, almost, because I hit a tree, as they say, and therefore I wasn't able to complete the 3rd lap I was supposed to do. But massive learning curve there, and although the car is absolutely superb, I mean, it really is a beautiful car to drive. I can't drive it yet, but I completely got it all wrong. Hairpin bends, which I was so confident about after the last course, I thought I really got that, completely gone out the window now. The gearbox is really tight to turn, and it makes me more nervous, because you're coming in there a lot more powerful into the hairpin, and you try to take the clutch and do all the rest of it, and then basically you're so frightened of stalling it, which I did twice, maybe 3 times, that makes it all a little bit harder, and everything is going a heck of a lot faster. So, Richard Burns, Alistair McLeod, Colin McRae, I am so sorry for all that I have said about how you could be slower for 3 seconds. I will not do it again.
Now brake a touch, and left, and right, and left, and a bit of power, then just turn, clutch and handbrake. That won't be a problem actually. Now keep the power on, stay to the left more, stay left. Now clutch down, handbrake. First gear. Well done, very good. Much better.
Well, Derek Edmondson's also on the course today, and you've just been out for your first run. How did you find it?
Very intriguing, to the point of view that you really have to believe what the instructor is saying. You know, when he says apply gas to the car, and you've actually got it on lock, you're thinking, oh, it's just not going to go where you want it to go. So it is the belief in the car and the timing that sort of the grip is absolutely phenomenal.
Right, well, Sam's just been out, another lamb to the slaughter, but actually you look pretty good out there. You look like you know what you were doing.
Well, I was taking it a bit easy. It's difficult to sort of learn to trust the fact that the car will stop when you go and it will go when you go. It's so quick, it's scary. But
I couldn't get the handbrake turn right because of the power going in. I was all right on previous shows.
yeah, you want to slow down before you get there, don't you?
Yeah, but he's saying not
it's
to.
a go. It's a sequence when you go in from the turn into the handbrake, and then you got to clutch and change gear.
And the gearbox is really tight.
Yeah, whilst you're going round a handbrake turn as well.
Did you get the car sliding, and did you understand what?
Yeah, I just didn't change back into the gear as I came out, so I ended up stopping. But yeah, it's good fun.
Right, well, I'm about to go out for my 2nd run now, and I'm starting to realise that this is much more of a thinking man's game. And I thought it was about driving cars fast and being brave and confident. It's not at all. It's actually about thinking about 3 corners ahead and actually getting everything together at the right time. And I certainly got it all wrong, and altogether wrong at the first time, because my handbrake turns were useless. I was completely scared to death of the power of this 4x4 beautiful Subaru car, but I've got my head round now. So, right, with that in mind, let's do it.
Braking and right, now power. Hard on the power, now left off the power. No braking, just off the power. And right, keep a bit of power on. And power now, hard on the power, now braking. So through this little sequence here, the right-hander you make very tight. The left-hander you make very tight, because that last little right there is the important one. So you can get the power on, you should be hard on the power all the way along here. Whereas at the moment, we can only get the power hard down here.
Gotcha.
But you should be able to do it from about 10 metres back.
Okay, because I'm not thinking about that.
No.
Well, that was my 2nd run, and as you see, I hit another tree. But that ended it a little bit quicker than I expected, but I have to say, massive improvement personally for me, because I just got my head round the power of the car. I was absolutely frightened to death. I think it's the pedigree of the car. I was frightened of the great World Rally Subaru car, and now I'm not as frightened of it. I'm actually starting to remember the things they've taught me already, but I still hit a tree, and therefore I came back down the long way, and what he said was accelerate really hard, and then he forced me to slam on the brakes. And now I realise what the brakes can do. I think I'm going to use the brakes a lot harder. But either way, a lot more confident, and massive improvement than this morning where I was completely, well, can't say it.
Now left, keeping a bit of power on, then easing the power as you go left. Now power, just slight left, go a bit deeper, and just a little bit more speed into there, and a little bit further into the corner, a little bit deeper into the corner.
Okay.
If you want to go to the left, turn left. Right. Because when the power's on, they'll grip.
They will grip.
Yeah.
Right. That's sort of like belief
Yeah.
that it will go.
Yeah. And as you're finding at the moment, you're having to work quite hard through a corner.
Yes.
Because you'll stay turned to the left a little bit to actually, now the car's gone left.
Yes.
But you're here and the next corner's there.
Right.
So you then got to go, we got to go into there now. So you've got to really work the steering, much less, but a lot quicker.
Well, Derek, you've just got out of the car, and I got the feeling that you've got the same feeling I have, which is you're a lot more positive about everything that's going on.
Yeah, certainly now that little bit extra confidence and that little bit sort of like more will to actually do what Pete's telling us, actually put more power on, be a little bit more aggressive, sort of like in the braking. It's actually making the car, making things in the car happen so much better and so much more responsive. So whereas a little bit ginger in the beginning, you weren't getting the result that sort of Pete nor ourselves were really after. So it's coming slowly, and it's almost, we're making the odd mistake to go backwards, to go forwards again.
Well, that's it for the rallying for a bit, and I'm going to take a well-earned lunch, so let's catch up with Natalie.
When did you start rallying?
My first rally in 99, just 3 days after the driving license. My first rally in the Saxo Challenge.
Yeah.
It's a very good result for finishing the winner on the Challenge Saxo on the Circuit des Ardennes. Just before the rally, 12 years on the karting and the quad biking for the experience, for the good line.
And tell us a little bit about this car, because this is the car you drove in Finland.
Yes, the car 2003 is very good. It's a big difference the last car. The gear change, the handbrake is completely different. The stability in the new car is big difference.
Francois, this is all new. Last time I was in a car, it was all up here and looked a little bit different. Can you tell us?
Yes, it's completely new. This page is only for my co-driver. Me only the ILS for the response, position 1, position 2 and position 3. Valve, the pressure on the diff, and the pressure on the diff, front diff, center diff, and rear diff. For me, just like this. Just 5 seconds before the start. Pushing on the stage mode, and the ILS and the valve waking. And push on the launch control, 3 seconds before the start. To go directly.
And in Cyprus, for example, you had some problems and you had to go to manual gearbox. How do you do that? Once the paddles stop working on the steering wheel, how do you get gears, basically, Is there something you must do?
Yes, on the example, like this, the pallet is not working. To pass on the stage, to disconnect handbrake, pass this pin on the manual gear, pushing on the gear is a good solution for the spare.
Well, that's it from Inside Rally for the moment. Join us after the break, where I'll be learning more about the four-wheel drive rally. Join us in a moment. Welcome back to Inside Rally, the show where they try to teach me how to become a rally driver. At least that's the theory. Now, in this episode, we're driving the four-wheel drive Subaru Imprezas, and they really are impressive cars to drive. And later in the show, I'll be pushing it just a little bit harder to see if I can come to grips with it. Right, I've had my lunch and I've had a bit of time to think about what we've been doing, and I've also been watching a little bit of videos of the top boys in action. I don't know if that's inspired me or not, but they look so smooth and so cool that it probably hasn't helped me anything at all, but never mind. We'll go out there and try and, as Pete has suggested, progress each time we go out there. And for me anyway, progressing, we'll be trying to get all the laps in, because we've got 5 in this section, and all I want to do is try and get them all in without hitting anything. But concentration, 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 and getting faster. That's the key.
A little bit quicker with the steering, now braking, now over to the right, bit of power, left, off the power. You're not listening much to what I'm saying.
Really?
Yeah. Not much at all. When it suits you, you will. Then you start to try too hard, and as soon as you make a mistake, you stop listening. I'm trying to get you to recover the mistake, but all you're doing is just fighting the car for a couple of corners, and then waiting for it to come back, but I'm trying to get you to get it back under control much quicker.
Right, well, I've just completed my third run of the morning, and that was probably the best I've done so far. It was only a couple of laps, and I didn't hit any trees, which is a bit of a plus. But we had a little bit of briefing before we went out, and that helped a lot for all of us, I think. I hope so anyway. That we're all taking the corners far too tight towards the tyres. We need to go much wider and use the power of the car to get us back round. But finally, I now trust the brakes of this car and can see how deep you can go on the brakes, which means that the whole corner is completely different because you brake a lot earlier because you're going a lot faster, etc, etc, etc. But bit by bit by bit, I'm getting it, and I didn't hit any trees.
So keeping the power on, now braking a touch as you go right, now left, feeding the power in nice and smooth, now hard on the power. Now brake hard, now right, stay to the right, power, power.
What you're telling me, and the trust is sort of is coming to the point of view that on some of the corners now, when you're saying power,
you are putting more on.
I am putting more power on, but I'm putting it on so that it's earlier within the corner.
Yeah. Than what you would do usually.
Than I would do normally. Yes.
Well, Derek, you just experienced what I did the last lap, literally before we go out and get assessed, and another chance to see Pete doing what he does best.
Yeah, tremendously, to the point of view that you can certainly tell his experience and his skill in the car, in that he actually puts it where he wants it to go. He knows exactly what it's going to do. If he makes a slight mistake, he knows exactly how to correct it confidently. Yeah, years of experience is sort of is invaluable in a tutor like that, and it's what we're trying to achieve just in the one day.
Well, Lee, you've just done your last run before you actually get assessed, and you've got one more lap with him to show you around, which I've just had, and it'll be an eye-opener, I'm sure. But what was your feeling on the last one?
I've lost it a little bit with the handbrake turns.
That's only because you're pushing it further now.
Exactly, you're going at more speed, more difficult to control. Coming down the rest of the track, it's not too bad, but losing it a little bit on the safe because more speed on the handbrake turns.
Do you think you're going to be as fast as him?
No.
And how about the assessment? Are you confident?
Not as well. I'm on most of the track apart from the handbrake turns, so I have to slow it down a little bit.
Are you surprised as how well you've done actually?
Yeah,
because
I am,
you actually
yeah.
come off.
Yeah.
You come on very well, haven't you?
Yeah, well, yeah, I found it all right.
Well, we'll soon find out.
Yeah, exactly.
Best of luck.
Cheers.
Well, we just had our last briefing before our assessment run, and it's quite useful because he went through a list of all the things that he's going to check off on mentally. He's not going to be talking to us this time, it's on our own for 2 laps. And that may help because I remember last time we did the other course, it actually helped me a little bit to concentrate more. The key for me though is just being a little bit more steady and consistency. That's the key. I know I can do it, I know I can do certain bits right, I've just got to put it all together in 2 laps. Here goes. Right,
Okay.
assessment time.
Off the brake.
That was my best run yet. Felt like
It was untidy.
Yeah.
Not your tidiest run. Your hairpins were better.
Yep, that's what felt better.
Yeah. Could still just get into first gear out the hairpin a lot quicker.
Yeah.
But they were much better that time. Getting the car to move nicely and just controlling it sometimes a little bit too much. You know, where you're actually killing the slide too early, so you lose the position on the road. Yeah, so you don't get your nice line into the next corner. But the rest of it was good.
Right, well, I've just completed my assessment run and the smile is back on the face because definitely that was, out of the whole day, the best run, in my feeling anyway, that I've done. At one point during the 2 laps that we have to be assessed on, Pete did actually open his mouth, which he's not supposed to do, and say, that's your tyre. Now, I don't know if that's because I hit it or not, I'll soon find out. But generally, with him actually not saying anything, I wouldn't say I got everything right, but there was almost more time, thinking time in my head to get the things I was doing wrong right. I even got a couple of the hairpins right this time, which is a bit of a plus. But overall, I'm actually quite pleased. I'd feel as I am going forward, but this is a whole new beast and a whole new animal, and I think really it would take 10 years to actually get to a point where you're really comfortable with this. But for 2 laps, getting there.
Much better. Just towards the end of that, the last sort of half lap, started to get very on-off with the power.
Right.
Not smoothly though.
Okay.
It was like not quite full on and off. It was even on the straight of it, it was dunk, dunk, you know, on, off, on, off. But the rest of it was good.
I was actually trying to sort of like to think a little more to the point of view of what I should be doing as opposed to you just listening to what you tell me to do.
Yeah. Well, that was very good.
Good.
Just a little bit longer on the handbrake. Your level of driving is very good, and it's been very good from the start. And you've just been slowly improving each time and each time and each time. And now you got very nice, smooth, relaxed, but you've got the ability to go quicker.
Yeah.
Quite a bit quicker.
Can you learn what I was learning? I felt the balance of the car and how it shifted made a big difference to how quickly he got through the turns.
Yeah, I think it's the braking. As you're coming into the corner, he's using the brake to slide the corner, which obviously we're not doing, so we're just slowing down to be able to get around the corner, whereas he's actually using the brake to go around it, and then obviously he can keep the car straight pulling out with the power, but yeah, a lot different.
And he humbled your hairpin turns just slightly.
A little bit better.
So first off is Jonathan, short straw again. Just want to feel the car start to slide a little bit quicker. The more you're in it, the quicker you've got in reacting to it. But it's not so much the reaction, it's the actual feel of when it starts to slide. Okay, so we've just got the bottle of champagne, which is going to go to the most improved driver of the day. But I think the biggest improver, and unfortunately the star of this show then, is Jonathan today.
Yeah.
It is a first, but very well deserved. Well done.
3 times, but hey.
It has.
Well, that's it for my first big day in the Subaru Impreza, and I have to say, what an eye-opener. I had no idea, and I think I was a little bit intimidated at first because it's such a famous name in rallying is that car, and I think I probably tried a little bit too hard and had a disastrous morning, but came good in the end and actually won the champagne. So I must have been improving somehow. But there's a big learning curve, and I have to say this is really blown my mind at just how much you've got to put together in one simple lap. Lot to learn, but more to come. We'll see you next week on Inside Rally.